So the big question is this: how are marketers like us, who don't cut corners and rely on hype-filled, black hat, scammy marketing, who are always focused on providing value first and over-delivering for our customers with every single purchase they make, how do we market our products and services in a way that allows us to get our message out into the world, dominate the competition, and create a lifestyle of freedom and abundance without sacrificing sales and profit? That's the riddle, and on this show, you'll find the answer. Hey, my name's Misha Wilson, and welcome to Marketing with Misha.
What is going on, everyone? Misha Wilson here, back at you, and I still look weird on my Facebook Live that I'm looking at. I'll take a screenshot and crack you guys up later. But with that said, I wanted to go ahead and hop on here, and I know I've been radio silent for quite some time, and one of the big things on my to-do list, now that we've knocked out quite a few things kind of from a behind-the-scenes perspective, is to start doing more Facebook Lives, providing more value with my daily episodes of Marketing with Misha and everything between. And so, hey, I figured I'd hop on and dive right in to one of the controversial topics that everyone's talking about right now, and kind of give my 2 cents on the topic of minimum wage. All right, so this isn't meant to be a political post whatsoever. I tend to think all of politics is just pretty much a big old scam. But with that said, I wanted to go ahead and hop on here and talk about kind of what I see when it comes to the minimum wage angle, you know, some of the different politicians that use it, why they're using it, and what the better overall thing would be for people to focus on if they wanted to make more money, if they wanted to have a cooler lifestyle, if they wanted to go ahead and be able to live the life ultimately that they want to live. So with that said, as always, give me some comments, likes, hearts, and shares if you guys get value, and let's go ahead and dive right in. So again, what I want to talk about here today is the problem with minimum wage, and even the problem with the quote unquote living wage. All right, so right now you see certain politicians really kind of playing up the whole angle of the living wage and playing up, you know, I'm going to increase the minimum wage to make it XYZ dollars per hour and therefore give a living wage to everyone because everyone deserves a living wage. Now, firstly, does everyone deserve, you know, to have the opportunity and the ability to provide for themselves and their family? Yes, absolutely. I couldn't agree more wholeheartedly that everyone should be able to have that opportunity and then, of course, seize that opportunity. The issue is that there isn't really, at least with the current, especially when they just throw out a number, right? Let's make it $15 an hour. Let's make it $17 an hour. Let's make it $20 an hour, whatever it might be, right? The truth is that that isn't actually a living wage. So if we look at it economically, you know, depending on where you live, the cost of living is going to vary greatly, all right? So let's talk about the $15 an hour thing. I live on Maui, Hawaii. Most of you here watching probably know that I live on Maui, Hawaii. If I'm making $15 an hour living on Maui, Hawaii, guess what? I better work 2, 3, 4 jobs just to barely get by still. So truly, a living wage of XYZ set, you know, dollars per hour, it doesn't work like that. There are certain parts of the country where if I make XYZ, $15 an hour, let's say, you know, I can live really well. I can live above a living wage, and I can really, again, kind of, you know, if I'm a single guy, get crazy with it and be really kind of well above what would just be necessary to go ahead and cover the bills, which is really kind of what living wage is sold as. We're going to give you enough to get by, pay the bills, not stress, and everyone deserves that, right? So what I personally believe is everyone deserves the opportunity for that. And the truth is that if you're focusing constantly on the dollar amount of the minimum wage, the dollar amount of the quote unquote living wage, etc., it's not going to get you very far. And really it's used predominantly by politicians trying to get voted into the office because it sounds really appealing. What people truly should be focused on for all of you, you know, if you're trying to make more money in your business, if you're trying to make more money in your job, if you're trying to make more money just generally in your life, and I look so weird right now on this video, a business owner. You want to focus on economically adding more value because when you economically add more value, you end up getting paid more, all right? And so if people were taught that, you know, in our market and in the world, if you can identify where can you add more value to the company, where can you increase your own personal levels of value. Give me some comments, likes, hearts, and shares if you guys are getting value. Zach, what's going on, brother? Adam, good to see you guys. If you guys focus on, if you're in a company, look for the problems that the company is facing. If you're in a company, look for the different things that the CEO is doing or the person above you might be doing that they don't want to do. Figure out how you can provide value to that portion of the company, how you can give extra to that portion of the company. And what that then does is it sets you up to not only make a minimum wage, not only make a living wage, not only make, XYZ, it sets you up to ascend up the ladder and get to a point where, you don't necessarily need to rely on just a living or a minimum wage, because when people see that you're providing value, when people see that you're going above and beyond to do extra, when people see that you're trying your best to actually chip in and provide more value than what you're getting paid for, guess what naturally tends to happen? You tend to make more, all right? So if you can shift the paradigm and instead of looking at it as minimum wage, living wage, shift the paradigm. What I can say from a business owner perspective, and I've, been in masterminds, worked with countless business owners, pretty much every single business owner I've ever met, when they see someone who is on their team working really hard and going above and beyond to add more value than what they're getting paid for, it's pretty much universal that they look for a way to give that person a promotion, that they look for a way to get that person paid more, that they look for a way to essentially, give that person a bigger opportunity to step in to a bigger role in the company to then go ahead and provide more value long term. All right. And so again, the problem with minimum wage very simply is that depending on where you live, it's going to be drastically different. And so unless they had a totally tiered system based on, every single state in the United States and said, okay, this is the minimum wage here, this is the minimum wage there, this is the minimum wage here, this is the minimum wage there, and had it different depending on where you are, there isn't really such thing as a quote unquote living wage, because it's going to vary dramatically based on where you are. But the whole mindset of, thinking about how can I get the minimum? How can I make the minimum be a little bit more, instead of focusing on, where are the areas in the company that I work for that I could provide more value? Where are the areas in the market that I'm in that I could provide more value? Where are the areas that I could plug a hole and thus add more value? Where are those opportunities? And when you focus on those opportunities and focus on those opportunities long term, that's what actually truly ends up getting you paid more, so you don't have to rely on a quote unquote living wage. So with that said, that's my message for you here today. Give me some comments, likes, hearts, and shares. I just went ahead and screenshotted this Facebook Live, so I'll go ahead and show you guys what I've been looking at this entire time and trying to focus, even though I'm doing this live. Once again, I appreciate each and every single one of you. We have some really cool announcements for all of our members, affiliates, etc. coming up very soon. New funnels coming up. I've been, super quiet compared to what I was at one time, and it's for good reasons. I've been doing stuff behind the scenes like crazy, and sales are actually up like crazy. And again, we'll be filling you guys all in very shortly here. But with that said, one of my goals, once again, is doing more Facebook Lives just like this one. So you guys will be seeing me more regularly, and you guys will have to put up with it. But long term, I hope you get a ton of value. So with that said, give me some comments, likes, hearts, and shares if you did. And just for a little chuckle, I will post in the comments what I'm looking at right now, because it's kind of funny. All right, guys, till next time, over and out.